End Avenue is back open after an early morning shooting. The details about the investigation from Metro Police coming up.
I yelled inside and heard another voice saying, "I'm in here, I'm in here."
Plus, a man in the right place at the right time to save his neighbor from a dangerous house fire. Hear him describe the moments he ran into the flames. And it's perhaps the biggest story, of the weekend. Geodis Park finally has its big debut. We're hearing from the fans who packed the stadium and the players who gave them something exciting to watch. Oh, and what a game it was. Thanks for joining us, Nashville. Time to rise and shine, Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. All right, huge game yesterday. Incredible weather. I was there, and it was a packed crowd. I mean, we had 30,100 plus folks there, and so many people excited for the weather. We're hoping for more of the same.
And it was sold out. I mean, what, a week in advance? Yeah. More than that? So it'll be sold out like that, I'm sure, every single game for the rest of this season. And hopefully the weather cooperates, too.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Yes. Now, this week, things are going to be very unsettled. So get ready for that. But as you're out and about this morning, check out that sunrise in Cannon County. It'll be a beautiful start to our day today and should really stay nice right through this afternoon for most of the area. It'll be this evening and overnight tonight when our first wave of unsettled weather works its way in. Then it's really just going to be off and on through the rest of the week. Nashville, we're at 54 this morning. Hendersonville at 52. Westmoreland 51. Portland 51. Mount Juliet 53. And Bellevue at 53. With just a few 40s on the board this morning. McMinnville at 49. Lewisburg 49. Parsons at 49. Hohenwald right at 50. And Springfield coming in at 50 as well this morning. First Alert Live radar is dry, and we will stay dry this morning and right through this afternoon. But like I was saying, get ready for some more unsettled weather as we get closer to this evening and overnight tonight. I think the big story for our day today is that it's going to be very warm and very humid once again. So not all that bad of some weather this morning. Some of us may see some patchy fog for that running forecast. Late morning, early part of the afternoon looks good before the heat builds in later on today. So when I come back, we have two First Alert weather days to talk about for this week. Right now, though, Melanie, the good news is the weather's cooperating with us on the roadways.
Yes, good news, but you know what? There are still accidents out there. It's just a Monday after all. We just had an accident clear up here on I-40 right near Fessler's Lane. Now we have a new one, and it is causing us some delays here as we have one left lane and the left shoulder blocked as well as the right shoulder. So only about 2 lanes for traffic to kind of bottleneck through there. So it is causing us some backup, and that's coming in from the Donaldson and Hermitage area. Notice got a lot of orange and red there on the map. That's backing all the way up toward that Spence Lane exit, and where 24 and 40 merge together. So beware there. May want to take an alternate or give yourself some extra time. Just got word that West End Avenue reopened here all the way from 30th to 31st Avenue, but still some slow going traffic behind that. We'll get a live update from Ryan Breslin here on the scene in just a minute. That's all for a shooting investigation there. Drive times on the interstate still looking good. 14 minutes there on I-65 into town, 28 minutes coming in from Lebanon, and if you're heading in from Dixon or Clarksville, just about a 45-minute commute so far this morning.
All right, Melanie, we are following breaking news right now. As Melanie just mentioned, traffic was shut down for hours. This was in a busy area as police investigate a shooting. Right now, we're checking in with News 4's Ryan Breslin. He's joining us live from the scene with what we know. Hey, good morning, Ryan.
Good morning to you, Holly. Metro Police did just reopen West End Avenue after this shooting. The shooting happening just right here behind me at that light right there. Let's show you some video from earlier this morning from our breaking news photojournalist Thomas Davis, who was first on the scene to this shooting that's right in front of Walgreens and Regions Bank at 31st Avenue. Both Vanderbilt Police and Metro Police were here after a man was shot. Police believe that the victim had at least one gunshot wound to the chest. And inside of the crime scene tape, there was a car that was waiting at the light. That may have been the victim's car, as there was no one in it. The lights were on, and it was towed away just minutes ago. There was also 2 casings on the ground by the car. When we first got here, there were 2 other cars at the back of the taped-off area, and those cars had people in them who stopped to help the man that was shot. They pulled away shortly after they spoke to police about the investigation. Police tell us that the man is in critical condition at the hospital. We're still working working to learn more about his condition after surgery. Holly?
All right, Ryan, with the latest this morning, and police this morning are now searching for a shooter. This is after a man's killed behind a Nashville community center. Brittany's in the newsroom with the latest on this. Brittany.
So the shooting happened Saturday night outside of the West Park Community Center there on Morrow Drive. So we actually have some video to show you from the scene. According to Metro Police, 22-year-old Jarius Johnson was shot in that back parking lot there at the community center. This happened just after 6 o'clock on Saturday night. Now, we had multiple gunshot wounds and died there at the scene. Police say Johnson arrived with other people in a black SUV and pulled up next to people in a red pickup truck. The shooting broke out between the two cars shortly after they arrived. Police are still looking for the shooter and the other people at that location when the shooting happened.
I don't think that he would have been there if I had been 5 minutes later.
And a man is grateful to be alive this morning after he was pulled from his burning home by that neighbor right there. This all happened Saturday morning right there along Elliott Avenue. Now, we're told Jerome Del Pino happened to be driving around the area when he spotted the fire. Well, he actually ran into the house, crouching under the flames.
It really is frightening to see a fire spread so quickly and start to consume everything around it. By the time I got him down the steps, it was coming out the front windows and up into the roof of the porch.
Wow, first responders say the man who lives in this home was taken to the hospital for burns and smoke inhalation. Thankfully, no, he is expected to be okay. Well, this morning, Nashville SC's new soccer stadium is now officially broken in. Yeah, tens of thousands of soccer fans packed Geodis Park yesterday. This was the team's very first home game. Now, it was against Philadelphia Union. The game ended in a 1-1 draw, with Randall Leal scoring Nashville's very first goal on that brand new pitch right there. It was a huge penalty kick in the 85th minute. Now, here's what he had to say about that historic goal.
All the players want to make the goal, to be the first one, for the fans and see what happened after the goal, how is the reaction of the fans, to feel the atmosphere and everything. I think it's unbelievable.
Packed house it was. Wow, Nashville SC plays their next two games right here in Nashville. They're at Geodis Park, their new home here. The next one is next Sunday. That's against Salt Lake, on Mother's Day. All right, well, more than 30,000 fans packed Geodis Park for the game. So coming up in our next half hour, find out what they liked, as well as one thing many of them say they didn't anticipate. That's coming up at 6:30. Be sure and stay tuned for that. Well, tomorrow, we know it is primary day here in Nashville. It is your chance to cast your ballot for some key seats. They include District Attorney General, Circuit Court judges, and school board members. Now, we know this morning nearly 23,000 Nashvillians have already voted during the 2-week early voting period. If you still need to vote tomorrow, remember, you have to do so at your assigned polling location. You can find that by typing your address into this map. It's right there on Metro's website. The hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And this weekend, it was a national effort to get rid of unneeded prescription medication. Big deal on Saturday. It was Drug Take Back Day. It was observed all across the mid-state and across the country. It's a way to dispose of unused prescription drugs and making sure that they don't end up in the wrong hands. Officials say the drop-offs are discreet, safe, and anonymous.
We have an increased drug overdose issue in the country, so if you don't need the drugs anymore, it's best to, just get them out of your house, and we will take care of the rest.
Well, Nashville had 2 locations where people could drop off. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I missed the event, well, you didn't, because Tennessee actually has several pharmacies, clinics, as well as police precincts that always have these safe disposal boxes. You can find one near you on this interactive map. It's right there on the State Department of Environment and Conservation websites. You can find it there in your area. Well, developing this morning, never before seen angles of a tornado as it ripped through parts of Kansas. Look at this funnel cloud right here. Now, coming up after the break, we're taking a look at the heartbreaking damage this morning. Folks, we're also learning more about the 3 young lives that were lost during the storm. That and more straight ahead. Stefano.
And as we're headed out the door this morning, sun glare going to be our only weather issue. It's actually pretty mild for that morning commute. So whether you're up this morning and headed out to work or getting the kids ready for the bus stop, you might not even need that jacket whatsoever. 50s this morning with plenty of sunshine. That evening commute, we will have a couple of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm at least knocking on the door at this point. But a warm and humid end to our day. When I come back, we have some severe potential to talk about.